PRC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
This is James Spann. You've clicked onto the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday morning, the 5th day of November. Still looking at some weather changes by the end of this week and a change to cooler weather by the weekend. Let's go right to some Skycam shots around the network this morning. We'll start with the view coming from Mount Cheaha. Nice and quiet up there this morning. Temperatures around 50 up on the big mountain. There's a look at the city of Gadsden coming from the Skycam in Etowah County. And again, on the mountain there, we've got low 50s, but down in the valleys, everybody in the 40s. And look at that. Nobody out there in Highway 280 this morning. Well, I take it back. What do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars. And that's it. Wouldn't that be nice if it stayed that way all day? There's our water vapor satellite shot this morning. You can see the big trough coming out of the Rockies. And that could set the stage for some active weather later today across the nation's midsection. And it's getting cold underneath the trough. Notice all of the 20s out there over the mountains. Looks like Denver's sitting at 23, and that cooler air will be felt here by the weekend. But in advance of that, we've got the mild air running all the way from Texas up to the Canadian border near Duluth, Minnesota. And that clashing air mass zone could set the stage for some active storms later today. In terms of the rain for the next 5 days, again, this is showing not much, and I think that's right. This is suggesting rainfall amounts of only, for much of the state, only under 1/10 of an inch. The better crack at a few decent showers up there in northwest Alabama where they might pick up 1/4 to 1/2 inch. But again, I think our story stays the same in our forecast. We'll say 1/4 inch or less for most of the state with the showers on Friday. The better rains well to the north. Convective outlook today. Look at that. Got a slight risk of severe weather from just north of Dallas-Fort Worth up to parts of Minnesota and South Dakota. That includes Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, and Omaha. And then tomorrow, the risk shifts to the southeast. A slight risk for cities like Memphis, Jackson, Shreveport, and Houston, as well as Lake Charles. But again, by Friday, by the time that thing gets in here, we don't expect any severe weather with weakening upper support and the fact that it's passing so far north. Here's the GFS, and we're going to show the 06Z run. Now, back on standard time, we can do that. The run is complete by the time I do this update in the morning. So this is the 06Z run, valid at 1 o'clock, noon today. I have to remember, everything's back on standard time. So 1800Z is 12 noon local time. Today, big trough out west. That disturbance continues on the mid-Atlantic coast, and we are in between all of that. Again, today, the rain will be falling for Maryland, up into New Jersey with that coastal storm. And out west, snow falling over the Rockies, and thunderstorms will likely break out late today and this evening in advance of the storm. And we note the surface low pretty far north up over South Dakota. Tomorrow, the surface low deepens and doesn't move all that much. And the trailing front at midday is running down through Columbia, Missouri, down to about Tyler, Texas. And again, there could be some active storms in that zone. Friday, the trough axis is still to the west. And we'll take a look at the front position. Again, the model keeps slowing down here. That's the one theme we've seen. Initially it looked like it might be Thursday night, and now it's during the day Friday, and maybe even Friday afternoon if this is right. For the moment, we're not going to change our forecast. We're saying the best chance of showers 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Friday. And you can see the better dynamic support well to the north, and just don't think it rains all that much. A good chance it will rain, but again, we think rainfall amounts will be under 1/4 inch. And Saturday, starting off the weekend, the front is gone. We become sunny, breezy and cooler. Highs in the 60s. Should be a beautiful day. And pretty much the same deal on Sunday. As dry air is the story. Lows Sunday morning around 40, probably 30s for the valleys with highs in the mid-60s. Monday of next week, we stay dry, but not too far to the west. A little impulse producing rain and Veterans Day. Tuesday of next week, this is suggesting that impulse will bring a chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm to Alabama. So we have mentioned that in the forecast package for Tuesday of next week. That's the 11th of November. And then Wednesday of next week, that feature pretty much on to the east. And let's look at the end of next week. This is November 14th. And one thing about it, the GFS has been very persistent in advertising a major storm system out here. Now, whether it's Friday the 14th or Saturday the 15th, we've seen waffling, but the last several runs have identified the big rain day is Friday, November 14th. Big trough there, and Down below that, the surface low on this run is near Columbus, Georgia, and Phoenix City, Alabama. And if the low takes that southern track, that would reduce any chance of severe weather for the northern half of the state, and just meaning a good rain event. But remember, this is more than a week away, and of course we call that voodoo country because there's not much skill in a specific forecast out there. But certainly that looks very wet, and on Saturday the 15th, the main storm pulls away and the rain tapers off there. And at the end of the forecast, on the 20th of November, pretty active zonal flow across the country. The next short wave out there off to the west, and that looks kind of wet. But certainly it looks like the latter part of November will be active with frequent changes, and that's pretty typical for this time of the year. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so today. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.